Welcome to this explainer on Elon Musk. We're talking about a guy who literally engineered the future. Everyone said private rockets and electric cars were totally impossible. Well, he proved them all wrong.
He went from a bullied kid in South Africa to dropping out of Stanford in 2 days.
He literally slept in his office building, Zip 2. That intense hustle paid off with $307 million. But he didn't stop there. He launched X.com, which became PayPal, completely reinventing digital money. When eBay bought PayPal, Elon walked away with a massive $180 million. So with that kind of cash, you'd probably just retire on a beach somewhere, right?
No way. He risked all of it to tackle humanity's biggest, most impossible problems instead.
Fast forward to 2008, though, and that wild, ambitious vision was on the absolute brink of collapse.
SpaceX suffered 3 devastating rocket failures in a row. They were basically out of money. Tesla was struggling, he was going through a divorce, and literally borrowing money just to survive. Any normal person would have quit right then, but, he just refused to give up. They risked a 4th launch. It succeeded, won a NASA contract, and saved both companies overnight. Over the next decade, he completely transformed massive global industries, from electric cars to reusable rockets. Today, he's pushing even further into crazy tech, like brain interfaces, underground transport, and advanced AI. The secret sauce behind all this? It's called thinking from first principles. Strip away the assumptions. This is his exact playbook. Find the fundamental truths, take massive risks, and focus on real impact. Sure, this relentless drive makes him a genius to supporters, but highly controversial to his critics. For most of the late 20th century, the rules of global industry were firmly closed. Private citizens did not build space rockets, and electric vehicles were widely considered a technological dead end that would never replace gasoline engines. Thousands of miles away from the centers of aerospace and automotive manufacturing, Elon Musk was growing up in Pretoria, South Africa. He was a quiet, introverted kid who largely kept to himself. He frequently faced intense bullying at school. To cope with the isolation, he retreated into books, absorbing massive amounts of science fiction, philosophy, and early computing manuals. By age 10, he discovered computers. Within 2 years, he taught himself how to write his own code, eventually programming a simple video game called Blastar. He sold the code to a computer magazine, marking the first time he successfully pulled an idea out of his head and forced it into the real world. These early experiences of isolation forced him to find solutions within himself. He learned to escape into deep technical work rather than seeking external approval, a trait that would later define his approach to high-stakes decision-making. As a teenager, Musk reasoned that the United States was the true center of global innovation. So, at 17, he left South Africa for Canada, supporting himself by cleaning boilers and working manual labor on local farms. He eventually secured degrees in both physics and economics from the University of Pennsylvania. That academic momentum carried him all the way to Stanford University, where he enrolled in a prestigious PhD program. But 2 days later, he dropped out. The internet revolution was rapidly accelerating, and he realized its potential to rewire human communication entirely. He relocated to the heart of the tech boom to take a shot at building a digital company of his own. Walking away from a guaranteed, highly respected academic path to chase an unproven digital frontier was his first true macro risk. He was establishing a pattern of behavior that prioritized long-term impact over immediate security. In 1995, Musk and his brother founded Zip2, a startup helping newspapers create online business directories. To keep the underfunded company alive, he coded during the day, negotiated with investors at night, slept on the office floor, and showered at a local gym. 4 years of grueling labor paid off. Compaq acquired Zip2, handing a 27-year-old Musk roughly $22 million. He immediately rolled his payout into a completely new venture called X.com. The goal was to solve a massive trust problem, convincing the public that financial transactions could be handled safely online. X.com eventually merged and became PayPal, making digital payments highly secure and widely adopted. When eBay acquired PayPal in 2002 for $1.5 billion, Musk's personal share cleared $180 million. Musk treated this $180 million as the entry fee for a much larger set of problems. He was funding his way into industries where the cost of entry was measured in hundreds of millions, not thousands. He identified 3 existential hurdles that would dictate the survival of the future: sustainable energy, space exploration, and artificial intelligence. He poured his entire PayPal fortune into founding SpaceX and investing heavily in a tiny electric car startup named Tesla. Industry experts loudly dismissed both ideas, laughing at the sheer physics of reusable rockets and the viability of mass-market EVs. By 2008, the critics appeared entirely correct. SpaceX had just suffered 3 consecutive explosive rocket failures. The company was on the absolute verge of bankruptcy. Simultaneously, Tesla was bleeding cash and struggling to survive. Musk's personal fortune had completely evaporated. The man who had walked away with $180 million a few years prior was now borrowing money from friends just to buy groceries. He refused to declare bankruptcy. Instead, he scraped together every last available resource to fund a 4th do-or-die rocket launch. The 4th Falcon 1 rocket perfectly reached orbit. That successful flight immediately secured a major contract from NASA, injecting critical capital that saved the company. Within weeks, the existential threat to both companies had cleared. Tesla survived by a few days of cash flow, and SpaceX secured a future on the back of its single successful flight, demonstrating how thin the margin between total collapse and global utility can be. Surviving that 2008 crucible allowed Musk to trigger a decade of industry transformation. Tesla forced the entire global automotive market to accelerate its adoption of electric vehicles. SpaceX achieved the impossible by developing reusable rockets, landing orbital boosters back on Earth, and dramatically slashing the historical cost of spaceflight. He then expanded into global satellite communications with Starlink, beaming high-speed internet access down to some of the most remote regions on the planet. His ventures continue to push human capabilities, driving into new approaches for urban infrastructure with the Boring Company, and developing brain-computer interfaces and advanced AI systems. This massive, disparate portfolio of companies proves that true innovation isn't a single product. It is the result of constantly challenging base assumptions across every sector you touch. This is executed through a specific intellectual framework called first principles thinking. Instead of accepting existing methods, you break massive problems down to their absolute physical truths, and you rebuild the solutions entirely from the ground up. Executing that framework requires a relentless work ethic, uncompromising engineering standards, and an incredibly high tolerance for risk. It also means accepting that pushing these boundaries will make you a highly debated, controversial figure. All of these companies and technologies ultimately point toward a singular, overarching mission: making humanity a multiplanetary species to ensure the long-term survival of civilization. You don't need to be born into perfect circumstances to build things of this magnitude. You need curiosity, courage, and the willingness to fail repeatedly without abandoning your vision. Musk's trajectory suggests that the limits of what is possible are often set by consensus rather than physics. The narrative leads back to a single question: what problem in the world are you willing to dedicate your life to solving?